Okay, so it's been a little while since I've done a video, so thank you. I want to talk about today are cybersecurity certificates a scam? Now, it's a big claim, and I'm going to break down what I think. Bear with me. This is not going to be an ADHD style of video where there's lots of things flashing up and engaging, so just give me a few minutes of your time and attention. If you click this video, then you're probably pondering or thinking about spending some money on a cybersecurity certificate. And you're looking around online, you're seeing a lot of training options, a lot of places you can go. First of all, what I want to say is there's no such thing as wasted training when it comes to an industry like cybersecurity, because there's so much to learn. You learn every day, the learning never stops, and just because you have a degree in computer sciences or a master's in something, that doesn't mean your fingers on the pulse to what is going in each and every day. Okay? So I don't think there's such thing as a wasted learning. However, what I'm seeing, and I'm not going to give any specific examples because I don't think the certifications in themselves are wrong, and I think they can help, but I feel personally, and this is just my opinion and people aren't going to like me saying this, but I feel deep down they're playing to people, giving people a false sense of getting in is easier than it seems, because the reality is that, you know, people keep saying, oh, there's a need in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing industries, and it is growing rapidly, but yet why is it so hard to get a job? So I'm going to break these things down today, in no particular order, but I'm just going to talk about what I think. So first of all, what you need to consider is that a certificate alone, like say, for example, a Google cybersecurity certificate or one from a site, a little short course that you can do, that's probably not going to be enough. Now, if you already have a degree or you have some technical experience, that's a different story. Experience really is the king in this situation. Now you're thinking, yeah, but how do I get the experience? And my opinion is pretty basic and pretty simple. Your experience has to come from hands-on learning. So that means you need to pay someone to teach you or invest in a course that is highly revolved around real-world application, because ultimately what is important, the thing that is ultimately important is the real-world application of the things that you're learning. Nothing else matters. No one cares at the end of the day about your theory. The theory is for you to help you connect the dots when you start getting hands-on. So you're like, okay, I learned a little bit about network security. I understand the principles of that. Now I'm seeing it in application in my job. That's all theory is. It's just a bridge for you to connect the dots when you start getting hands-on experience. But until you get that hands-on experience, it's just knowledge. No one cares, all right? No one, unless you're having a conversation or you're teaching, no one cares about that in the real world. Okay, people hire cybersecurity professionals because they want results. They want actionable, tangible results. They want security. They want to see reports on how your solution is better than this solution or another person's solution. So if you're going to invest in training or certification, make sure that the person, one, has the experience, and two, is giving you real world application of that experience. In my opinion, that is ultimately what is important, because if you don't have the degrees and all the paperwork to back it up, at least have a real life project or some experience, or someone who can, maybe a mentor or teacher might even refer you and can vouch for the fact that you actually do have some hands-on experience. Okay, this is really important before you go and blow and spend thousands of dollars on certifications, okay? Because people are going down the certification rabbit holes. They're wearing their certifications like a general does in the military, and people are still not getting work. So the reason cannot be just based on certifications alone, okay? Focus on finding an instructor and a teacher who will teach you hands-on. Now, I guess that some of you don't want to jump straight in and do a degree. Look, a university degree is going to open more doors, but it is expensive and it is a big road to go down. So my advice is, if you're like, okay, well, I want to try cybersecurity, I want to dip my feet, get my feet wet, and then decide from there, do I want to continue to educate? Look, at the end of the day, this is the kind of career and the role where you're going to have to continually educate yourself anyway, because no threat's the same. Vulnerabilities change. I do vulnerability reporting in my role. It never ends. Honestly, there are new things coming out all the time. It's a never-ending cycle, so your learning never stops, okay? So have that mindset and you'll be fine. If you're wondering where to get started as a foundation, I would highly suggest, whatever country you're watching this from, is enroll in a college and do a certificate or a diploma. There's going to be some investment. Now, here in Australia, we're very blessed. While cost of living and everything else is not so great here, the government has been offering free priority courses. So you can do cybersecurity here. You could do a certificate for. And the certificate for is a great foundation to get started. So I don't know what it would be called in America or the UK, but a foundation IT course that covers things like, networking, programming, basic troubleshoot, just IT, cybersecurity. Get that foundation sorted out, and it'll give you a very nice structure, and you should know and understand the basics of most things, okay? So that would be my advice. Don't go spending too much money on a whole bunch of theory-based certifications just yet, right? I would invest, I know a lot of people are like, well, I can't really go back to school. Look, there are a lot of ways you can work around that, but it might mean you've got to study at night. It might mean you might have to drop your work back to part-time. You're going to have to make a sacrifice and some decisions. My decision to go back to school for a year, I ended up going back full-time for 7 months, doing the rest part-time, but I had to work 7 days a week. I had to practically study at night, and I had to get up early and study in the morning, and I was working a retail job on weekends, and I was cleaning windows a couple of days a week, because window cleaning actually makes pretty decent money when you do it for yourself. So I was able to do that 2 days a week. I was able to study, but it was hard and stressful, but that's what you got to do if you want to crack in to a new industry. That's what you have to do. It's going to be hard work. You're going to spend a lot of time on the computer, and, people who can figure things out a lot quicker than you, you're going to be spending more time figuring out the basics, but you need that foundation. I'm very lucky I got my job. I've been in my role for 9 months now, and it's like an apprenticeship. You are working in a whole new industry. You're dealing with all new challenges. You're dealing with a whole new way of working, new technology. Sometimes you won't even know how to use Excel and Word properly, but don't look down on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You can do it. The point of this video is, don't get sucked into the certification rabbit hole. In short, my answer is no, I don't think certifications are scams. However, they can become traps and they can become scams when they are misleading. Like when you see a certification that says, I'll get certified in 2 months and land a 6K cybersecurity job. That's bullcrap, man. It's not real. That doesn't exist. And if you know someone, or that's the case for you, then that's incredible. But I guarantee you, if that is the case for someone, they have some experience, or they've got a background in computers, they've got tangible, provable things, or they're just very lucky, because you have to have some background, you have to have some experience coming in. And even then, you have to have the basics, at least theoretically, right? You have to understand certain things if you want to go into a technical role in cybersecurity. Now, it is possible for you to have a degree in something else and get a couple of little certifications and then kind of tunnel your way into IT. That does happen too. There are other roles in cybersecurity that you can do that aren't necessarily technically based, that may get your foot in the door. But the other thing you'll need to be careful of is that you get your foot in the door and then you get trapped into a particular role. And that can happen too. So look, guys, it's very hard work and it's worth it. It is a good career. It is a growing career. Yes, people are wondering why there are no jobs or why people can't get in. Based on my experience where I work, it boils down to one thing. The people that know what they're doing and have the experience, they don't have the time to teach. And that's the sad reality. People get squeezed into a busy, vicious circle of work, and then they don't get the time to train, because training's a luxury, you know, to shadow someone and train them. That's the old school way, you know, like I was a butcher, and the way it was when I was an apprentice is someone would shadow you, right? So a good teacher would shadow your work. He wouldn't micromanage you, but he would just help you and help you to refine your skills. And it's the same in cyber, you know, but that's a luxury that many companies aren't willing to invest in. They just want people to come in and they want them to assimilate into their new role as fast as possible. And the other issue is when companies do take a chance on someone and let them in, then that person, as soon as they get the experience they need, they leave, they disappear. So factor in these things. What inspired me to make this video was someone called the company I work with, and they said they only had a Google cybersecurity certificate. And I feel sorry for that person, because they would have read an ad or they would have read something that, you know, get certified and you know, break into cybersecurity. And that's just not the way it is if you're coming from a totally non-technical background. So anyway, guys, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing tutorials, more videos to help those who want to get into cyber. Those of you who are, you know, coming from a non-technical background, maybe you're a tradesperson, you've spent years on roofs, years doing very tough work, and now you just want to, you know, work from home, be around the family. Maybe you want to go live somewhere else and you want to be able to take work with you. You can do that with cybersecurity. It's a good choice. So stick around. I offer some tips and advice. In short, no, cybersecurity certifications, they're not scams, but just be careful. They can be a money trap. They can be a money pit. And I think they can be a little bit misleading, and just be mindful that, you know, being overly focused on theory-based learning. While theory is important, remember that there's information available everywhere out there. Your learning should very much be heavily involved with some practical application. For example, labs. Try Hackme is good because it combines a bit of, you know, theory-based learning with practical lab learning. There are things called blue labs for defensive. Quite challenging, very difficult to do, but that's how you learn, and it's that hands-on stuff. But go for a foundational course in IT, guys. I strongly recommend it. Don't shortcut the foundation. Don't try and weave your way around the foundation if you don't have it. If you naturally have a strong background in IT, then maybe you can just get away with certifications, but lay that foundation first. You may have to invest in that as a minimum. Look, guys, if you've got into the industry, or you know someone who has, purely off like a little 2-month short course or something, let me know in the comments, because maybe I'm wrong, but I'm yet to see it. So thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to doing more content shortly.